Hi and welcome to another Watch Geek video. Today we'll be doing a tutorial for the Breitling Aerospace, and I believe this tutorial is going to cover the 4th generation, the 5th, and the latest, the Aerospace Evo, because I believe they all share the same movement. Now, just like in all my other tutorial videos, in the description you will find a table of content with time codes, so you can jump to specific parts of the video or functions of the watch. However, I would advise you to watch the whole video the first time, just so you get acquainted with all the functions that this watch offers. Now, although this watch has a lot of functions and some of them are pretty complicated, everything is done through the crown. So this watch has no buttons whatsoever, and I'm actually very positively surprised on how they managed to do that. So this crown has several functions. You can turn it slowly, you can turn it fast. Those are two completely different functions. You can also pull it out, you can leave it in this position, and you can also use it as a button. So once you push it, it's also going to do something. Now, if you turn it slowly, it's just going to activate the backlight. If you turn it rapidly, it's going to cycle through the functions, like so, as you can see. And the functions include all these that you just saw, and then it has 3 or 4 timekeeping functions with the day of the week and date, with the seconds and the date, with the main time, meaning the hours, the minutes, and the seconds, and also what I like to call the stealth mode, where the screens are turned off. And I believe this one is the best for the battery life. Now, if you're in any of these timekeeping modes, meaning the last 3 or 4 that I showed you where you see the calendar or main time, pushing in the crown is going to activate the minute repeater function, where the watch is going to chime the exact time, the hours, the quarters of the hours, and the actual minutes. So the time down to the minute. So let's just do it. So push in the crown. And that's it. So a pretty cool function. Now, before I show you how to use all the other functions and how to set up the watch, the actual time and calendar, the first thing that I want to show you is how to realign the hands or sync them back to the digital screen. Because this is something you will have to do whenever you change the battery, and if it's not done by the Breitling service. I mean, they will do it at the service, but if you change it yourself or a local watchmaker changes, you're going to have to do this reset procedure. Now, to realign the hands and the digital display, and this is common for almost all analog digital watches, from G-Shocks to Citizens to apparently Breitling as well. To do it, you have to be in this stealth mode where the screens are turned off and simply pull out the crown. Once you do it, the watch is going to display where it thinks the hands should point, and all you have to do is align them to that position, because as you can see, once I'm turning the crown, the hands are moving, but the display keeps displaying this time. So you have to just align it to what the time is currently displayed on the digital screen, and that's pretty much it. Once you've done it, you simply close in the crown. So this reset procedure is very simple, and it's gonna save you the expensive service, Breitling service, for just the change of the battery. Okay, moving on. Once you've aligned the hands to the digital screen, we can now set up the time and the calendar. To set up the time, we have to rapidly turn the crown to get into the main timekeeping mode, where the watch displays the hours, the minutes, and the seconds. Once here, we just pull out the crown. Once we pull out the crown, the hours and minutes are going to start blinking. And now, if we turn the crown slowly, it's going to change the minutes, as you can see. However, if we turn the crown very rapidly, it's going to change the hours only. It's going to leave the minutes, but the hours are going to move by 1, as you can see, like so. So it's a pretty cool feature, because this also allows you to do a very quick change when it comes to DST changes, or if you travel to another time zone. Changing time zones will not affect the minutes and the seconds, because by rapidly turning the crown, you can simply change the hours. And that's pretty much it. Once you've set up the hours and the minutes, you want to sync the seconds to the correct atomic tower, or the correct time. To do so, while the hours and minutes are blinking, you first push in the crown the first time, it's gonna make the seconds blinking, and pushing it as a button the second time, it's gonna reset the seconds. And it works just like on Casio watches, meaning that if you reset between 0 and 29, the seconds are going to reset, but the minutes are going to stay unchanged. If you reset them after 30 seconds, between 30 and 59, the seconds are going to go to 0 and the minutes are going to move by 1 up. Okay, so now we've set up the hours, the minutes, and the seconds. Now we want to set up the calendar data, because this watch does have an automatic calendar. It's just not a perpetual calendar, meaning you're going to have to change the date every 4 years when it's a leap year. Okay, so we move on to the next screen, which is the seconds and the date. Once you see the seconds running and the date, you pull out the crown, and it's going to allow you to change the month and the date. And it works just like with the time. The slow turn of the crown is going to change the days, while the date, while a rapid turn of the crown is going to change the month, like so. So it works the same principle as the setting up of the time. Once you've set up the month and the date, you simply push in the crown. And now all we have left to set up is the day of the week. So we move on to the next screen, which is the day of the week and the date. And to set up the day of the week, we simply pull out the crown, and the watch is going to ask us what the day is. This letter here represents what language we're currently using, because this watch comes with several languages. And now just by turning the crown, we go through these days, and once we complete, let's say, English, and just gonna continue to the next language, and this is Spanish. So again, if we go through the Spanish, now it's French, go through the French, now it's German, and back to English. Once we've selected the day of the week that we want, in the language that we want, we simply push in the crown. And that's pretty much it. So we've set up the time, the calendar, and we realign the hands. So now let's see what other functions this watch offers. So let's spin it to get to the next function. The next function is the countdown timer. Now once in the countdown timer, you have to pull out the crown, and the watch is going to ask you what time you want the countdown timer to be set for. Again, moving the crown slowly is going to change the minutes, and it can be set up to 24 hours in 1 minute increments. And turning the crown rapidly, it's going to change the hours, as you can see. Once you've set up the countdown timer to start it, you just push in the crown, because as soon as you exit the adjusting mode by pushing the crown, the countdown timer is gonna start. And once it reaches 0, it's gonna ring. Now to stop it and reset it, you simply press and hold the crown for a couple of seconds, and the countdown timer is gonna jump back to 0. And that's pretty much it. So pretty simple. Let's move on. The next function is the secondary time zone. Now this secondary time zone can be set to any time zone you want, and the digital display is gonna display this world time, while the hands are gonna keep showing your home time. Now to change the digital display or the time zone displayed here, you simply pull out the crown, and once you pull out the crown, you can move in half-an-hour increments. So by turning the crown slowly, you're gonna change the time in half-hour increments, because it's gonna cover all the time zones that exist. If you want to change the hours, you simply turn the crown rapidly, and it's gonna change the hours only. So the same way the main time works as well. Once you've selected the time zone that you want, you simply push in the crown. So pretty simple as well. Another thing that is done in the world time function, which I forgot, is the toggle between a 12 and 24 hour display. So to check whether the watch is currently in 12 or 24 hour display, you simply press the crown. If it's blank like this, it means we're in a 24 hour display. If it's A or P, it means that we're at 12-hour display, meaning the AM and PM indicator. Now to toggle between the two, you first check and press the button again to toggle. So as you can see, A, so this is 24 hour, 24 hour, 12 hour, 24 hour, 12. You just have to press the crown again before the seconds return. So you have only a couple of seconds. As you can see, once they return, you can no longer toggle, but you just check the status. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the world time. Moving on, the next function is the chronograph. To start it, it works like a mono-pusher chronograph. To start it, you push in the crown. To stop it, you push in the crown again. But unlike a mechanical mono-pusher where the next press of the button would take us back to 0, over here you can start it and stop it as many times as you want. And it's just gonna keep measuring. If you want to reset the chronograph, all you have to do is when you're stopping it, press and hold the button for more than 2 seconds. And the chronograph is gonna jump to 0. So again, very simple and a very genius way of using just the crown for the chronograph. And the last function that this watch offers is the alarm. Now once in the alarm function, you can toggle the alarm on or off by pushing the crown. So as you can see, when you have this AL written, it means the alarm is currently on. To turn it off, you simply push the crown, it's gonna say off. To turn it on back again, you again push the crown. Now the alarm is currently set for 0:42, so 12 midnight and 42 minutes. Naturally, you can set it up to any time you want by simply pulling the crown out, and just like the main time, turning the crown slowly is gonna change the minutes, while turning it rapidly is gonna change the hours, as you can see. Once you've set it up to the desired time, you simply push in the crown, and again, you can toggle it on or off by pushing the crown itself. And that's pretty much it. Turning the crown again goes back to the stealth mode where the screens are turned off to prolong the battery life. Anyways, that's it when it comes to the tutorial for this watch, because this covers pretty much anything. I hope you enjoyed and found it useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and until the next video, bye.